On my 22nd birthday, my uncle discovered my diary. After learning about my secret crush on him, he sent me abroad and spent millions on a lavish wedding to marry his true love. At the airport, he coldly warned me, never have inappropriate thoughts again. Years later, I returned with a child in my arms. He was shocked. Is this yours? I nodded with a smile. Yes, I just finished my postpartum recovery. Sitting on the plane, I still felt dazed. I never thought that after 5 years abroad, I would have the chance to come back. After all, Orion had said that in this lifetime, I'd better never appear in front of him again. But it was also he who personally bought me a ticket back home, inviting me to attend his and Melissa's wedding anniversary celebration. After 2 layovers, I finally landed. Uma had been sleeping peacefully on the plane, but once we got off, she started crying. "Mommy, my feet hurt," she whimpered softly. Hearing Uma's quiet sobs, I quickly picked her up and walked towards the exit. At the arrival gate, I turned on my phone, ready to call a cab. Just then, my phone rang. Seeing the familiar number on the screen, I fell silent, unsure whether to answer or not. In the end, I didn't pick up. But a second call came through almost immediately. I sighed and finally answered. Orion's voice quickly came through. After years without talking, his voice hadn't changed. "Are you out of the airport? I sent an assistant to pick you up," Orion said in a businesslike manner, as if we were strangers. I laughed bitterly. "I can get a cab myself." There was silence for a second. Orion probably didn't expect me to say that. After all, back then, I had been well taken care of by him. During my years by his side, all my needs were met. I never had to worry about transportation. After a moment of silence, Orion spoke casually. "Let the assistant come anyway. I bought a gift for Melissa on your behalf. It is in the trunk. You can bring it directly when you come for dinner." Orion was still so thoughtful, considering even the gift situation perfectly. Of course, when he spent millions on the venue and commissioned a limited edition diamond to create a unique wedding ring for Melissa, it was clear how much he loved her. "All right," I said, rubbing my forehead and responding softly. Orion didn't say anything more, but he didn't hang up either. After a while, Orion finally spoke. "Yara, after 5 years abroad, I hope you've really reflected on things. If you do anything to Melissa, I won't let you off easy." Hearing this, I was stunned. The noise around me seemed to fade away. Orion said he wouldn't let me off easy. Before I could respond, Orion had already hung up. Actually, Orion could rest assured. I wouldn't do anything to them. I just wanted to take good care of Uma and find a job. As I left the airport, I lowered my head. The proud 22-year-old me probably couldn't have imagined that my life would end up in such a miserable state. I was sent abroad by Orion on my 22nd birthday that day. Orion discovered my diary. When I was young, my parents died in a cruise ship accident and never returned. Orion naturally took over my care. My relationship with him had always been harmonious. Until I became an adult, I realized I didn't just see Orion as an uncle. I liked him, but I also knew very clearly that there was no future between Orion and me. So I wrote all my feelings in my diary. If Orion hadn't seen my diary, I probably could have pretended that my feelings for him were just those of a niece for her uncle. But Orion saw it. He tore up my diary and asked me how I could have such disgusting thoughts. "Don't you know I am your uncle? Even without a blood relation, we can only be family." The usually gentlemanly and refined Orion was no longer gentle, shouting at me with disgust in his eyes. At that time, I wanted to explain, but couldn't explain anything. In the end, I could only keep bowing and apologizing, saying I was wrong, that I shouldn't have fallen for him. But Orion didn't calm down. The next day, he resigned from the job I had lined up, and under the guise of studying abroad, sent me to a remote university overseas.